Trumpcare has gone through, and as you might have imagined, there has been a meltdown from mostly wealthy actors and artists. Now, I don't want to get into the details of healthcare, at least not in this video, but to put it simply, I don't like government mandates requiring taxpayers to pay for a service. I find it beyond amusing that particularly late-night TV show hosts, who I would imagine have better health insurance than any of us and make more in a year than most of us would in 10, speaking on our supposed behalves, attempting to bully anyone with a contrary opinion of theirs by accusing them of killing millions of uninsured Americans. Where does it end? Should taxpayers pay for my car insurance? By principle, I believe businesses thrive and government programs fail because of the intention to excel. My opinions on these talking heads have probably been clear over the course of my videos here, but what I would consider a severe lack of integrity exists within all forms of mainstream media. So let's go ahead and look through some of these award-winning tweets from these award-winning individuals. Patton Oswalt, of course, one of the pioneers of the resistance, worth $14 million, according to a website that I'll leave in the description below. I use it for all of the people that I checked their supposed estimated wealth. Patton tweets out, "I'll do what I can to make November 6, 2018 a dawn-to-dusk nightmare for the GOP. Fuck those smirking entitled frauds. Tick, tick, tick." Oh, here's Neil deGrasse Tyson. Surely he has a thing or two to say on the subject. Oh yes, that's right. We are hostile towards science now because now they're attempting to bully different conclusions as being hostile towards science. Being a bully and a victim within one sentence. Now that is social justice art. George Takei, oh man, poor George Takei. You know, he's definitely depending on some of that sweet Obamacare to nurture him through his final years. Oh wait, he's filthy fucking rich too. Michael Moore, currently undergoing what appears to be a male-to-female transition, is also losing his head over things. You know, having a pre-existing condition of being a fat fuck must be troubling. And here we have Mark Ruffalo accusing Americans of making millions die. Classy dude. Sarah Silverman even thinks that people hate Obamacare only because Obama's name is on it. I mean, what a bimbo. Her tweets do read like a 13-year-old girl that never grew up, so perhaps it is quite telling of her character. That is, however, coming from the same woman who thought that these signs here were written by neo-Nazis rather than city workers. And last we have John Legend, who, to be honest with you, I have never fucking heard of in my life. But this maladjusted tool is asking his followers for people that he can donate money to in order to dox Republicans in swing states. I don't know this guy, but I can guarantee that he's wealthy enough that Obamacare isn't an issue he has to deal with. Look, I know it's possible to oppose something that doesn't affect you, but these champagne socialists give me the vibe that they are full of shit. Maybe my bullshit detector has been a little off in the past, but it seems to beep anytime Michael Moore slivers up to a podium. There is just a sweet irony that exists when super wealthy artists pretend to be more engaged in politics than they are with their own career. I'm not a big Obamacare fan. I'm not a big Trumpcare fan. I'm not a fan of health insurance in general or how important it is to have health insurance and how expensive it is to see a doctor. It's such a complicated issue that I can't pretend to be an expert on one side or the other, whether arguing for universal health care or not. However, one of the things that makes America what it is the free market and capitalism. And sometimes I could probably agree that maybe there should be regulations on certain things. However, the truth has been stretched so far by both sides that I don't know that I can trust either one at this point. However, I know that I can't trust people like Michael Moore, for instance, or Alec Baldwin. These celebrities, they call themselves. They even say that they celebrate their own existence in their name. So you can tell these are humble individuals. They get trotted out in order to speak these talking points. Likely that from many of them being incredibly wealthy. So wealthy that they can't really identify with the people they supposedly are speaking up for. I feel like it might be an appropriate time to talk about this next clip, which went viral a few days ago, and I was considering doing a video about it, but I don't know exactly how I feel. Now, I kind of have my head wrapped around what I think now. So, Jimmy Kimmel, his son, had a certain heart condition that his newborn son, and pretty much barely made it due to cutting edge healthcare technology, which is available almost exclusively in America. At least our technology, the free market has provided us such cutting edge medical technology that a newborn child with a heart defect like this can still live a full life. Anyway, it was a very touching story. Even myself, I can't lie, I had a bit, my eyes were starting to well up a little bit. And I am happy that his son's okay. I mean, I don't think there are very many people in the world that are like, dude, I fucking hate Jimmy Kimmel so much that I hope his son died. I'm definitely not that guy. But what really startled me, I think it's the best word I can use to describe the feeling that I got, was at the end of the segment, where Jimmy Kimmel uses his son's near-death experience to push his anti-Trumpcare opinion, which to me not only is bad timing, but also kind of gross. But let's take a look at the clip and you decide for yourself.
And I want to say one other thing. President Trump last month proposed a $6 billion cut in funding to the National Institute of Health. And thank God our congressman made a deal last night to not go along with that. They actually increased funding by $2 billion. More than 40% of the people who would have been affected by those cuts to the National Institute of Health are children, and it would have a major impact on a lot of great places, including Children's Hospital in Los Angeles, which is so unbelievably sad to me. We were brought up to believe that we live in the greatest country in the world, but until a few years ago, millions and millions of us had no access to health insurance at all. You know, before 2014, if you were born with congenital heart disease like my son was, there was a good chance you'd never be able to get health insurance because you had a pre-existing condition. You were born with a pre-existing condition. And if your parents didn't have medical insurance, you might not live long enough to even get denied because of a pre-existing condition. If your baby is going to die, and it doesn't have to, it shouldn't matter how much money you make. I think that's something that, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or something else, we all agree on that, right? I mean,
I don't think anyone's against that. And in fact, that child would be operated on and get the full amount of care possible. They would just get the bill later on too, which I'm not against. But providing everyone with something so expensive like health insurance is a big ask, considering that the wealthy already provide a very large portion of the taxes already. There's nowhere to pull this extra money from. We can't just go print more money. And unfortunately, it is a luxury. It isn't a commodity, health insurance, as much as ideally it would be. I mean, how about free food for everybody? When you have the state providing any sort of service, it's usually not a service that is provided very well.